If you've ever ordered bacon at a diner, cooked breakfast at home, or watched a cooking show, you've probably come across two terms that seem simple but spark a surprising amount of confusion: Canadian bacon and American bacon. They both have bacon in the name, they're both pork, and they both show up in breakfast dishes. But beyond that, they're almost completely different foods. Today, we're diving into what separates these two famous breakfast meats: Canadian bacon versus American bacon, where they come from, how they're made, how they taste, and why one is crispy while the other looks suspiciously like a piece of ham. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one belongs on your breakfast sandwich, depending on what vibe you're going for. Let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before we get into the sizzling details, let's answer the simplest question. What exactly are these two types of bacon? American bacon, the one most people picture when they think of bacon, comes from the pork belly. This is the fatty, streaky cut that crisps up beautifully in the pan. It's the kind of bacon you see curling up on a plate next to scrambled eggs, laid across a BLT, or wrapped around anything to instantly make it taste better. Canadian bacon, on the other hand, comes from a completely different part of the pig, the pork loin. This is the same lean, solid cut used for pork chops. That's why Canadian bacon looks round, smooth, and meaty, almost like thin slices of ham. And depending on where you're from, you might even hear it called back bacon or pea-meal bacon. So right from the start, you're looking at two totally different cuts. One is fatty, streaky belly meat. The other is lean, solid loin meat. That alone creates completely different textures and flavors, but let's go deeper. Bacon gets its signature flavor from curing, and the curing process for these two types adds another major difference. American bacon is usually cured with salt, sugar, and sometimes spices. After curing, it's smoked, often with hickory, applewood, maple, or other woods that add that smoky aroma everyone loves. The smoke is a defining part of American bacon's character. Meanwhile, Canadian bacon also goes through curing, but the process is milder. It's usually cured in a brine, giving it a smoother, slightly sweeter flavor. It may be smoked, but not always. Traditional Canadian bacon actually isn't smoked at all. It's rolled in ground yellow peas or cornmeal, giving it a signature crust. This pea meal version is especially popular in Ontario. So if American bacon is smoky, salty, and bold, Canadian bacon is clean, mild, and subtly savory. The biggest difference you'll notice on your plate is the texture. American bacon is known for its iconic crispiness. Because it's cut from pork belly, one of the fattiest parts of the pig, the fat renders out during cooking, leaving behind those perfectly crunchy edges and chewy centers. That melt-in-your-mouth quality comes directly from the fat content. Canadian bacon, being much leaner, doesn't crisp up in the same way. The meat stays tender, firm, and moist. Even when cooked in a pan, it doesn't curl or shrink much. Think of it as the bacon equivalent of a thin pork chop or a slice of deli ham, just with more flavor thanks to the curing. One isn't better than the other. They simply serve different purposes. If you want crisp, salty flakes that crumble beautifully on a burger, American bacon wins. If you want solid, meaty slices that hold their shape in a breakfast sandwich, Canadian bacon is the way to go. Food isn't all about science, it's about taste. So how do these two actually differ in flavor? American bacon hits you with smoky, salty richness. The fat adds depth, the smoke adds aroma, and the cured meat provides that slightly sweet edge. It's bold enough to stand on its own or add flavor to other dishes. When you fry it, the aroma alone can get everyone in the house out of bed. Canadian bacon has a milder, cleaner flavor. You'll taste more of the meat itself and less influence from smoke or spices. It's slightly sweet, slightly salty, and a bit ham-like, which makes sense because both come from the loin. It won't overpower a dish. Instead, it blends in smoothly. So, American bacon equals intense, smoky, fatty flavor. Canadian bacon equals lean, subtle, meaty flavor. Cooking these two types of bacon also tells you a lot about what they're meant to be. American bacon needs a little patience. You put it in a cold pan, let the fat slowly melt, and watch as the strips crisp up. It sizzles loudly, shrinks noticeably, and leaves behind a glorious pool of bacon fat, perfect for frying eggs, potatoes, or literally anything. Canadian bacon cooks quickly. A minute or two on each side is usually enough. It won't shrink, it won't sputter much, and you won't get a pan full of rendered fat. This makes it great for fast breakfasts or recipes where you want a leaner meat that won't make a mess. Both types of bacon have cultural identities too. American bacon is iconic. It represents diner culture, weekend breakfasts, and classic American comfort food. It's a staple of everything from backyard barbecues to viral internet memes. Canadian bacon is humbler and more traditional. In Canada, especially in places like Toronto, pea-meal bacon is a point of pride. It's not crispy, it's not flashy, but it's flavorful, historic, and deeply tied to Canadian food traditions. So the next time you're at the grocery store wondering which package to grab, think about the experience you want. Crunch or tenderness, smoke or subtlety, fatty or lean, and whichever one you choose, you really can't go wrong. After all, it's bacon. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.